been denied, and I've been retaliated upon for even trying to report it. And also I'm being told that I can't report racism, that's disrespect to staff, and if I bring up race again, I would be receive discipline, which means thrown in a hole. Yesterday I was thrown in a hole. I wasn't given lunch. They put me in a cell that was literally covered in pee. The guy that was next door to me was laughing because he's on suicide watch, and he's like, "Dude, that's my pee. I was just in that cell. I'm sorry." He like, "That was all my pee." The woman that was in the cell before him was like, "I was in there. That's my blood. That's on the corner," and literally directed me to where the blood is, and I can see all the blood. And the room is filthy. There's bugs crawling on the floor. They refused to give me a bar of soap to wash my hands. I didn't get lunch. They refused to give me lunch because they said I was writing a PREA report, which is sexual harassment or sexual abuse report. And they said, "Oh, you were taking time writing a PREA instead of eating food." But they came to throw me in the hole while I was eating food. While I was writing the PREA. I was writing the PREA before food even got here. And they just continue to try to put a bunch of PREA reports in yesterday. They continue to deny them. They continue to just try to retaliate against me and try to intimidate me into being afraid of reporting anything. And they just continue to threaten me with try to give me discipline or just trying to provoke me. The lady that put me in the hole, female sergeant, was only like 24. I feel like she literally tried to physically fight me and was trying to provoke me to get physical with her, like she wanted to hurt me. This same woman in the past, her granddad used to work here. He was a lieutenant. He retired now. I've had him in the past have to take pictures of my wrist from her digging her nails in my wrist while I was in the restraint with my hands cuffed prior to even being restrained, and my hands cuffed behind my back. And this is the lady who continues to, this is the second report this lady has tried to put in about, she says he made several comments that the officers are harassing him based on his race. And the funny thing about it is that when I was talking to her, she said during our conversations these comments were made. But during the conversation, I was telling her that I'm being harassed because I continue to try to write these PREAs, and I've been receiving retaliation from certain staff since I put in these PREAs, and certain staff are using tactics to try to intimidate me and scare me. And every time I write these PREAs or any type of grievance or anything involving the harassment and misconduct by these staff, and then I have a witness. There's an older white gentleman in the block with me who even told them, like, this lady who I reported continues to come in here and snicker at me, make faces at me, and yell while I'm on the phone or whatever and stuff, and slam the door while I'm on the phone, which is right next to me and stuff, or while I'm on a visit with my girlfriend. And multiple racial comments have been made to me, multiple inappropriate comments have been made to me, just blatant tactics of just retaliation and harassment. And doing things, like I said, I didn't get a bar of soap yesterday to be able to wash my hands, and I was in the hole. I just got out of the hole today, and I have to probably go back tomorrow because I have a hearing tomorrow to see if they're how much time I'm going to get in the hole or whatever. And she wrote me up. I got written up for disorderly conduct, which I don't know what I did disorderly, disrespect the staff. They're trying to say that me bringing up racism, me saying that this lady harassing me and picking on me is disrespectful. And that she had, yesterday I tried to report PREA, and I asked to speak to a sergeant, and the rule is, and I have the state statutes involved in the situation, I don't have to report these things to you. I don't have to tell you why I want to speak to a sergeant when it comes to these type of things. All I have to do is ask to speak to a sergeant. It's up to the sergeant to decide if the situation is, whatever. And so when she asked me, and she was the person I was trying to report on, I told her, I don't have to tell you. I'm like, can you just tell the sergeant to come here? And she laughed at me, and I was like, come in here and laugh at me where I got a witness so he can hear you and stuff. You continue to harass me. I got a PREA in on you right now. She continued to banter me and go in, and she said, how is that PREA? Is Prison Rape Elimination Act? I'm like, it also deals with harassment of any kind, sexual harassment and harassment of any kind. You continue to harass me or retaliate against me since I filed a PREA November 16th of 2022. All the way until now, I have been receiving nothing but retaliation because they did nothing about the situation that happened in November. And I've just been receiving retaliation. I've been trying to report it, and they just continue to try to intimidate me and scare me and abuse me.
And you said this started with trying to file something for sexual harassment?
Yes.
Who's sexually harassing you?
I had a female officer on November 16th make fun of me for being raped inside of a jail, literally laughing at me, making faces at me, and I had a witness and stuff, but it started with her just doing a walkthrough, and during the walkthrough, she claimed, I'm in a small block, I'm isolated in segregation, I've been in segregation the entire 5 years I've been here. She comes behind me, it's an older white lady, she's got all this perfume on, and she comes behind me, she was walking towards the exit of the door, and I knew she's in the block. She walks behind me, like super close, and walks in front of me super close in this small area. And I was like, hey, next time can you say, she scared me when she did it, because I didn't know she was about to enter this small space to walk by me. And I'm like, hey, next time can you ask me to move or say excuse me? That made me feel uncomfortable. She literally looks at me and says, I can do whatever the fuck I want. And I'm like, no, you can't. I'm like, you can't enter in my space like that. I'm like, and I just told you it made me feel uncomfortable. I can understand you making a mistake, but from here on out, I'm like, you need to just ask me to move or say excuse me. She's like, no, I don't have to or whatever. I asked to speak to a sergeant. During that time, she came back to hand out medication. There's another guy in the block with me, an Asian guy named Dang Fang.
This call will end in 1 minute.
It's about to hang up, but she came back to hand out meds and continued to harass me. This is the same night, continued to harass me. She opens the door. I told them I didn't want to speak to her. I wanted to speak to a sergeant or whatever, and then I didn't want to have any conversation with her, so I don't want to address her. She continued to repeat my name in a mocking tone of voice. She repeated like 6 times, stared at me, seeing that I wasn't responding, and then says, well, I guess you don't want your medication, and slams the door, and they know that I have a problem with them slamming the doors, and that's what she did actually on our way out. The first walkthrough she had did, and the problem of her getting too close to me. She looked at me.
What facility you at?
Manitowoc County Jail in Wisconsin.
Manitowoc, okay.
I can call you back, but it's going to come talk to me inside the room privately because there's someone next door trying to talk to them about a sexual harassment situation, which is supposed to be private and anonymous, and I'm supposed to feel comfortable reporting this, and they know that. And so when she tried to close the door on me, I turned around, I was like, wait, I thought you were going to talk to me, and she literally slams the door, looks at me, and is like, don't you ever try to stop door and all this stuff, and I'm like, seriously? And I was like, you literally just told me that you were going to come in here, so I'm like, I didn't know why you were shutting the door and stuff like that, and they refused to give me my lunch. They told me they were going to bring my lunch tray, which was sitting on the table of the block that I was in before they took me out of it. They refused to give me my lunch. She put in the discipline report, she says, later in the afternoon, Brown Edwards asked me for a lunch tray. I informed him he would not receive another lunch tray. He was given one while in MedSeg, and instead of eating the food when he got the tray, he chose to write a request slip on the kiosk. A request slip is completely different from a PREA slip, and she knows that. That's why she worded it like that. She knew that I was trying to report PREA. When she came in there, before food even got there, I was writing a PREA about the situation that was going on and stuff that was on. And I had asked to speak to this lady who was the sergeant about the PREA situation because there's supposed to be a hotline that we were supposed to be able to call, and they do not answer. It's a hotline that's supposed to be a sexual assault advocate hotline, and they don't answer. And so I was trying to speak to her because I'm like, I need to report this to an outside agency, and she refused to listen to me. She didn't document anything. They threw me in a room that was covered in pee, literally covered in pee. And they didn't care. I asked for a bar of soap to wash my hands when dinner came, so that I just used the bathroom before I left the unit anyway. And I'm like, I didn't even get to wash my hands. I'm like, I need a bar of soap to wash my hands. They told me that, oh, you won't get a bar of soap. So, I had to eat dinner and I had to eat breakfast this morning and lunch this morning, with pretty much shitty hands.
That's crazy. So let me ask you, what kind of support you looking for, bro? Do you want people to call up there and ask them what's going on with you? Like what kind of support?
Because I don't know what to do, but I fear for my safety. There's things going on that they're just refusing me access to as far as reporting. They don't care about any of my rights or anything like that, and I just don't feel safe. They've threatened to physically harm me and stuff with these reports, and by saying that they'll restrain me, and I'm not even doing anything and stuff, or pulling out tasers on me, and I'm not even doing anything, and these type of things. Like, I'm terrified up in here. I call my girl panicking all the time. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm terrified. I just asked her to call the cops and see if she could call the police department and report a hate crime. I'm like, I don't know what to do, but I'm like, there's no one in here to protect me. I can't get a hold of my lawyers, and I don't know what to do.
Right. Which your lawyers aren't answering because of the time of day, maybe?
No, they're not answering. I tried to call them before I called you. They didn't answer. I'm pretty sure they're busy though. But I'm supposed to be able to call for free. The problem with that is the public defender office here only answers from 9:30 to 10:30, and I'm like, my lawyers aren't even from this county. They're in Madison, Wisconsin, and they're homicide lawyers. They don't, and I have trial next month. The beginning of next month. I need to be able to contact them as much as possible and whenever, and I can't. And then they messed up all my belongings. My girl sent me pictures. I went and looked at all my stuff. Some of my pictures are messed up and folded and bent, and they weren't. They were in perfect condition. All my legal mail they went through. All my legal paperwork they went through and stuff. It's not the way that I left it, and and tomorrow I have a hearing where they're going to decide how much discipline they want to give me and stuff, and for something that I had witnesses. The lady actually ended up coming to my cell in front of the guy whose pistol was in my cell, because they ended up moving him to a different cell and put me in the cell, and she admits that the reason why she was written me up was because of the retaliation. She's like, well, we've been going back and forth for weeks now and stuff, and I'm like, you can't even apologize for laughing at me and all